So we are gonna be installing Omnet Plus Plus on our Ubuntu machine, and we're gonna get started. We're gonna log in. So right here, I have a mission created from our last video. I'm just gonna go right into it. So the first thing I wanna do, I usually do when I have a new VM, is that. So this is the minimal install. As you can see, there are fewer icons here. There are fewer, software. The first thing I like to do when I set up a new VM is installing OpenVM tools. This would allow me be able to copy and paste text from my main computer over to my virtual computer. Because right now, if I copy and come outside of my system, I wouldn't be able to paste it somewhere else because it's a completely different scope. I won't be able to paste it anywhere else. I mean, you get the point, though. So the first thing I want to do, I want to sudo app update. That's the first thing I'm gonna do on this. So now my Ubuntu is getting installed. I'm updating packages that will be relevant to me. All right, we're done. And now I'm gonna install the VMware package to help me with back and forth clipboard management and some other things as well. So I'm gonna install sudo app install openvm tools, openvm tools desktop, and we're gonna put that in. Awesome. So we have that, and now we're gonna we want to install Java. So Omnet Plus Plus requires Java to run, and so it runs in a Java environment basically. And all right, see. So I'm installing the default Java runtime very quickly, and wait for this to install. So we're at 15%. It's gonna take a minute or two. Let's wait for that. And we're done. Awesome. So we're gonna check Java. Let's see what version we have there. Okay, so we have Java 11, which is great, and we're gonna keep going. The next thing we're gonna need is some necessary libraries for Omnet Plus Plus. And so I have them listed. And so say sudo apt get. The first one is build essentials. This is very important. And clang, then the linker, then gdb, bison, very important, and flex is also important for our build. We need perl, we need python as usual, and python's pip as usual, and would I'm also gonna just install Cubase. 5 dev qt. Oh, so I'm just gonna paste this long command on. You can just copy and paste it somewhere of all the packages you need to install and not have to type each one of them. But yeah, I don't think we don't need another QTs. Alright, PQ. This is for GLE. Alright, alright. Then this also dioxin graphics lib webkit. Awesome. So we are installing all of that. Let that install and yeah, if you're wondering, I have funny names for my VMs. This one is called Big Rats, and the other one, yeah, I had created another VM. This one is called Little Rabbit. This one is still fairly empty. I haven't done anything here. This is the VM we're currently working on, and waiting for this to finish installing, which is great. And after we are done installing this, which is this is we're installing the necessary build tools and libraries for Omnet. When we're done with this, we want to install MPI and OSG libraries, and it's going to be required if we're going to be simulating. And yeah, we're going to be doing that. So yeah, so I'm going to install the OSG library. One sec. Uh, sudo apt get store MPI the default def um, open scene graph dev. Yeah, so this would install MPI and OSG. Let's see how that goes. Awesome. So we need 400 MBs. Yeah. I mean, you might have noticed I'm using apt-get. I mean, you really can use apt or apt-get. Like, it doesn't matter much. Like, I know most of the times I just remember I just use apt-get because I'm used to apt-get, but like I also use apt a lot. Yeah, so don't hold yourself back. So we're installing the MPI and the OSG library, which is necessary for our simulations on Omnet++. And after we're done with this installation, The other thing, the other very important thing we're going to be needing for Omnet is Qt, Qt GUI. So Qt is a Python UI framework. It's used to build UI, desktop UI mostly. So I want to install the dependencies for Qt. Then so let's go say apps updates and let me say app updates. Let's see, because I've done a bit. All right. Then sudo apt install libxcb cursor. So I want to install Qt now, and what I'll do is that I'll download Qt from the official website. So this is one of the points where I think is very delicate because easily you could easily mess up your setup just by not installing the right version of Qt because this is the GUI, and if your GUI is messed up, then your Omnet setup is not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be very good. You're gonna have a very bad setup. So here's what I want to do. I want to install the long-term support version 5 of Qt. I mean, you can use version 6, but I think you should use version 5 because the version 5 is the last supported version for the Omnet. I mean, there is an option to select a version that you want of Qt, but yeah, it's best you just use version 5 so you don't you know come across challenges like this. So I'm gonna just download. I want to go for the community version. So community user, and because like now I think the Qt Foundation or the Qt the company, they they are not um they are now for profit. So there's a license for non-community. Yeah, so that's why I just uh all right. All right, so I want to choose my machine, and I'm on Linux because we're on a Linux VM, and this my system is x64. Later, I have a Mac OS M1. Later, I could make a video for ARM, but it's essentially the same thing. But right now, I'm on x64, so I'm gonna pick x64 and install the and use this for a 64. Awesome. So we just finished downloading. Mm, Okay, want to open it up. All right, so we have Qt right now. We have the executable. So what we want to do is that we want to go to our terminal because this is an executable dot run. We want to go to our terminal and go to the location is in downloads folder. CD. Oopsie. All right. Okay. So, well, first of all, I want to make this an executable, like give it permissions, so I'm able to execute it here. So what I'll do, I'll first of all change the mode, and first of all, let's have a look at the what it has there. All right. So this is the we have read, write, read. So those are change mode to make it an executable, because here it's not an executable, so let's make it that. All righty, now let's do this, and here now we have an added X here, which is making it an executable. So the R is for read, so we are able to read it, we're able to write it. So now we are able to execute it, while before we are not able to execute it. So now we can do that. Awesome. So now let's execute it. To execute this dot run file, like we just need to like call it, like literally just call it, and we should be good. So pip. All right. So it's running, and it said could not connect. Uh, could not find Qt accounts. I haven't logged in yet. Could not find a Qt platform plugin. Wayland. Hmm. I'm just gonna ignore this. I don't think it's relevant for me. So I'm gonna log into the to my account, and I'll gonna get started. So I think I know I created an account. So you're just gonna create an account on the website or use the sign up button. Well, I think I created an account, and I'm just gonna log into my account. Oopsie. Oh, I didn't configure my keyboard properly. Yeah, I didn't configure my keyboard properly. But yeah, okay. So let's go. Checking license, validation, infection repositories, no valid commercial license. Oh, okay, next. Says no valid commercial license available in your Qt account, but I can keep using the old versions of Qt. Well, I guess it's fine as long as I get version 5. Alright, I guess help us disable. I guess I could help. Alright, so we're gonna be installing Qt at this location, and go forward. Alright, so this is the interesting part. We wanna install the the version 5 of Qt LTS. Oh, okay. We want the long-term support, not the latest. We want long-term support, and we're looking for 5. Okay, I think this one gets us 5. Install the framework. Open SSL toolkit. Yeah. Developer and designer. Yeah, I think this gets us what we want though. Developer and designer tools. Yeah, this gets us what we want. Plugin development. So I'm gonna tick plugin development as well. Maybe the bug symbols, but we don't need any other thing. All right, so we're gonna just install this as is. Yes, red. All right. So it's not enough disks to store temporary files and installation, while the minimum is 4 gig. All right. So This is the part where I said it's possible that we might need to, get a bigger size of our VM because we created our VM with like 4 gigs. And yeah, so let's just quickly have a rendezvous and create and we can resize this VM. So hold the thoughts right there. We can resize this VM and come back again. So I'm just gonna quickly resize this VM, and the way I'm gonna do that, let me see my recording. It's going fine. All right. So we got ourselves in a bit of it, and while we created the VM, we didn't take account of the size of the VM that we would need. So just in case, you might want to consider, increasing the size of your VM and giving it, say, about 8 gigs at minimum, just so you'll be good. So right now, I'm gonna resize this VM very quickly. And if your VM is already resized, you can skip this part. If it's not, then you can follow along. Then I'm gonna resize and show you how I'm gonna resize this VM. So first of all, I want to shut it down. I'm gonna shut it down. So power off because the VM needs to be in a turned off state, and before we can modify the settings. So we're going for the settings, and under the settings, we want to go for hard disks, and this is where we can increase the disk size. So we had 20 gigs initially, so we're gonna give it 40 gigs or 50, I guess. I guess we could give it 50, and we'll be good. All right, so I'm gonna apply. So the virtual disk resize is successful. Use the disk maintenance tool. All right. All right. So here it tells us we've successfully resized our disk. So, but that's not all. We need to now start up our machine and resize it from within our machine. So we've done it outside of our machine on VMware part of things, but now we need to do it inside of our machine because Ubuntu only knows about the the space that we give it or we tell it. So it doesn't know about the newly allocated space. So we're gonna go and tell that to Ubuntu. All right. So what we're gonna be doing on Ubuntu, we're gonna be using a tool called gparted to check. All right. So here we are, and I'm gonna do lsblk, see what we have here. So this is our current configuration. You know, so here we have our disk is 19 gigs. So ideally, when we're done with our step, it should double up. See df dash h. Yup. All right. So I'm gonna first of all install gparted. So sudo apt install gparted. Yup. Yes, we're installing. All right. So we have gparted right now installed, and we're gonna start the program gparted. All right, so the CLI program, oh no, GI, sorry, and is basically gonna allow us to drag and expand. So this is the unallocated space we created just now. We added about 29 gigs. So this is our Ubuntu, and the yellow shade is where our current data is, and the part we're using, and this is the part that remains. So I'm just gonna grab it from here. Resize. I'm gonna grab it from here, and I'm gonna drag it all to fill up this space. And when we're done, we're gonna have about 50 or 49 gigs, which is just great. And now, as you can see, we've allocated everything. All right. So apply, save details, and we're done. Awesome. So let's leave this and check again. See, all right. As you can see, as the tree is now 48 gigs. Before it was 20, about 20 gigs, but now it's 48. So it worked. And let's do this again. And let's see. Yeah, so before it was 70%, about 70%, but now it's about 29%. So this worked perfectly. So we don't even have to do nothing. We just have to go back to what we were doing. We're installing Qt. So let's go to our downloads folder to where we installed Qt, and we want to run it again. Here we are, running Qt again, logging in again. Log into our account, checking license. It's gonna tell me I don't have a license, and I'm gonna say yeah, 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 which is great. So next, and so disable. I guess all those want to help out. It's good to help out. So we are choosing one plugin development and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. So next. So, yep. Next. So all information is now available to begin installing Qt on your computer. Installation use 5.29 gigs or IT. So now we are installing Qt, the UI. This is going to be vital for Omnet++ setup. Awesome, awesome. So it's gonna take about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna wait for this to download and finish installing, and we're gonna pick it up. Here we are again. So we are done with our Qt installation, and we're gonna finish up. Awesome. Yeah, this opens Qt Creator. Enable anyway. Shuriken. Mm, Alright, we're good. I'm just gonna minimize this. Don't really need that. But I don't want to close it either yet. Alrighty. So now we're done with the installation of Qt. We're gonna move on to the next step. We need to install. I'll just end this for now. Clear. Alrighty. So now we want to install like some Python packages that would be needing. Uh, so this is a popular Python packages. So I'll install this for this user and probably do an upgrade while I'm at it. But I want to do install NumPy. I want pandas and I want matplotlib, and I want sci-fi, I want seaborn. These are these are all like if you're in the data science field, or like if you're a Python engineer, or however, you might be familiar with some of these packages because we use it a lot in Python, and there's a lot of data science, data related libraries. So after we're done exporting, so this usually do like all the installation for us and add it to path. That's for the packages that need to be added to path. It adds them to path. Yeah, and so wait for this to finish installing. It's gonna take a minute or so. So after this is done, then we want to start installing our Omnet dependencies. That's for core Omnet. Then we also want to get the Omnet code base. But let's wait for this to finish up first, and we'll be back. All right, so we're done installing our Python dependencies. However, we see a warning here. The NumPy is installed to at local/bin, and apparently this isn't in the path. So we want to add this to the path, and to do that, just gonna echo the path into the bash rc folder, and yeah. So I'm just gonna echo this. So I'm gonna echo. So I want to export the path, which is equal to, okay. mm, mm, Let me set my keyboard profile. Uh, I want to change my keyboard profile because this isn't the right keyboard profile for me, and should have picked it earlier. So this is UK. Alright, you know what? I think I want US. Alright, okay. Mm-mm. Okay. So I wanna echo. Alright, so I wanna add this to parts, the local folder to parts, and so hash parts. This should echo this into our file. We're using the bash rc dot bash rc. Alright, see. So now we have it on bash, and we're now gonna source. That's basically to get into that, to activate it. Awesome. And yeah, we should be good. So the next thing we wanna do, alright. Nope. Yeah. Alright, so the next thing we want to do right now, want to start installing Omnet. So we want to install some Omnet dependencies. So apt-get install cmake. We want pkg config, one master utils, we want libgui master def, we want free g t yeah def, we want master common def, then libglue dev, lib lib dev mpg 123 dev, and yeah, awesome. So we're installing this, and we'll wait for this to finish installing. Then we'll need one. We need to get the next thing we need to get is G. Yep. We want OpenGL. So we're gonna get this from the GitHub repository. I mean, we can install this, but there was some issues. So it's better we build it from the Git repository. I mean, that has worked for me, and yeah, it has worked for me just building it from the repository rather than installing it any other way. So I'm gonna clone the repository to install OpenGL. Okay, the glfw. So let me go into downloads to do that. So I'll say git. Okay, we do not have git, so I'll install git. Alrighty. So after installing Git, so I'll git clone. Oopsie. Copy, paste, enter. So now we are cloning. Now we are cloning the GLFW package. It's a multi-platform library for OpenGL, and so we're gonna wait for this to finish up. And once it's done, we're gonna install it. We're gonna build it from the code, install. So while this is installing, I'm just gonna go to Omnet official website, Omnet plus plus download. Yep, go here. They usually have this downloadable, so I'll just pick one of the downloadables here. So depending on your system, I'm using an x86. So I'm just gonna click download here. So it's downloading. Awesome. So let's go check. This also is downloading. And yeah, so get back when it's done. Awesome. Yeah. So our Git clone just completed. So we'll go into the GL FW folder, and now we want to make. We want to see make. Awesome. So configuring incomplete. Fail to find Wayland scanner. Fail to find Wayland scanner. Wondering why. Let's see. Hmm. Interesting. So apparently I should install Wayland scanner. Let's see. Install Wayland scanner. Wayland scanner. Alright. Configure. Alright, now it's done configuring. Make.